go. Now I got to do that over again. Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Wednesday, May 23rd. Now let me start this over again. I'm just going to go over the trades. Well, you know, it won't take that much longer to just go over all the trades. So I'll go over all the trades on the NQ. I'm just going to do the NQ and the ES this morning. Okay, because those are the only two markets I actually took trades on. Right in here, we started to get some bearish divergence off the open, but it didn't give us a down close until the divergence was gone. The first opportunity we had to trade was right here. It pulled back up, tested the BBC, gave a down close with the bearish divergence. When I say bearish divergence, I mean this green line is pulling away from the red line, just like this right here. Okay, the green line is pulling away from the red line. Gave a down close, and it moved down. All right. Over here, it was giving bullish divergence, but it never fully tested the BBC right here. It did give an up close and had a nice move up. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of that. Over here, we have bearish divergence, and the MA1 is on the wrong side of the BBC, so we're not looking to trade over here. Okay, it's important that you understand that we're only going to trade on the side in the direction, we'll say. If the MA1 is below the BBC, we're looking for shorts. If it's above, we're looking for longs. Okay, then we just look for the divergence and all that stuff. All right, so we hit the BBC here, had a down close, and it went down. I didn't take that trade either. I missed all these trades so far. We had bullish divergence here. We hit the BBC, had an up close, and it went up a little bit. Again, bearish divergence over here. Hit the BBC and had a down close. So on the down close here, guys, what I'm looking at is an entry at or near the close. Okay, so it had a nice move down there. There was some more bearish divergence right here with a touch of the BBC, tested the BBC with a down close again right in there. There was divergence in here, but the cycles started to turn blue. So we could not. Well, we didn't even look at that. All right. Actually, most of these trades here on the NQ I didn't even look at because I was focused so much on the ES this morning, and I'll go over all that in just a minute. Right here we had bearish divergence. We hit the BBC, had a down close. I shorted there, and I took some profit down here. Over here it had bullish divergence. Came to test the BBC, didn't actually hit it, and it went up from there. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through kind of quickly here. I don't mean to skip anything. I'm skipping some winners and some losers in here. Right in here, it went too far through the BBC for me to short right here. We had the bearish divergence and all that, but it was a couple bars through the BBC, so I wouldn't have shorted there, even though it won. I may have shorted right here with the bearish divergence. Right here we had the down close. We could have shorted right there. Over here we had bullish divergence. We could have gone long right there. Okay, that would not have worked out if we had gone long right there. Obviously, that would have been a negative trade. Over here, we had bullish divergence. We could have gone long right in there. Now I'm just showing you what possibly could have happened. These were the trade setups, okay? The ones that I took actually have the yellow arrows on them up here. Right here, price pulled back to the BBC, gave a down close with the bearish divergence, and I did short. I'm sorry, I didn't short there. You could have shorted there, and it went down. Over here, we had bullish divergence with an up close, and I did go long, and I took some profit on that one. Bearish divergence with a down close. Right here, it tested the BBC. It almost tested the BBC. I thought it actually had tested it. And it gave the down close, and I shorted there and took some profit there. Over here was another opportunity. Tested the BBC with the up close, and it went up. Over here, this was kind of an ugly trade. I'm not exactly sure why I got into this one, but I did. It had the up close right here, and I went long. Is that right? No, I think it's the other way. I went short and took profit over here. I shorted in here with the bearish divergence because that is just a really ugly long trade. I went short and took the bearish divergence right here and took some profit on that trade. Okay, I think those were the only trades that I actually took in the live trading room this morning. Either way, I ended up plus 60 ticks on the NQ. Okay. Now with the ES, what I'm going to show you in here is all of my trade entries and the profit potential for each of the trade entries. Okay, oops. You see all those yellow arrows? Those are all entries and exits. And the profit potential for each trade entry is there in blue. Now, I had a lot of profit from I had a lot of profit from a trade that I took overnight, a swing trade that I took. So showing my DOM right now would be misleading. Okay, but let's just say I had a lot of profit from that. Now, what I'm going to show you here, though, is my entries, my exits, and what you could have gotten out of the trade, and what I typically would have done. What I did here this morning in the live trading room was I traded exactly the way that Dwayne goes over in the videos, in the multiple videos that he's done, the numerous, the countless almost videos that he has done and put out on the blog for you guys to take a look at, which you should go look at. He painstakingly goes through every single touch of the BBC. After the price, after the MA1 crosses the BBC, price pulls away from it and back to it. Just to give you an idea of how it functions when that particular scenario happens. All right, so I traded that way this morning. The first bullish cross was right here. The MA1 crossed over the BBC, so I was looking for a bar to pull away from the BBC after the cross. This bar pulled away by a little less than a tick in there, it looks like. That bar pulled away, so I went long on the next pullback to the BBC, which was this one right here. I got long right in here. That trade had a maximum profit potential of 1.25 points. Typically, I would have gotten a break even on the trade because I moved my stop to break even after 1 point. In this case, I left my stop where it was, and it stopped me out. The next one, we had a bearish cross. This bar pulled away from the BBC. This one pulled back into it, so I shorted right there. Now, that one went for 3 points. 3 points profit. Now, typically, I would have taken 2 points profit on that, but I let it run, and it came back and it stopped me out. I should have managed my stop a little better on that one, though. What I was looking for, here's what I was looking for, okay? I was looking for price to get down here to this level. All right, if it had gotten down there, I was going to bring my stop to the back of the MA1. That's what I was looking for on that trade. Okay. The next trade was right here. All right. We had a bullish cross right here, so I went long right there. And
trading, and he said to him, you can make a lot of money with those things if you know what
probably
you're
going to
doing.
want to mute.
He's an extremely good trader.
Let's see. There we go. Mute that person. They don't know that they're live. Okay. So I went long when it pulled back to the BBC right over here. Okay, we went long right in there, and that gave 1 point profit in it before it came back down. Now, typically I would have gotten a break even on it because I moved my stop to +1 tick. It came down and it stopped out. Now, the next trade pulled back up to the BBC, and I shorted it right here, and that one dropped. Well, it dropped all the way down here. When it got down, this was the level I was looking for right here. I was looking for it to get down to right here. Okay. Now, when it got down there, I said I was going to move my stop down. I was going to trail it down behind the MA1. Now, it had dropped through that level pretty quickly in here. So by the time that I moved my stop down, it was down here. I got +3 out of it, but it went 6.5 points. Okay. The next pullback up to the BBC, I missed. I didn't have my order on in the right place, and that one went 2 points, but I don't have it marked up because I didn't actually take it. The next one pulled back. I had my order on in the wrong place again, and Dwayne took that one and got 2 points out of it. You can see that one did go at least 2 points, but I don't have that marked up again because I didn't get filled on it. This one here I did get filled on. It shorted right here. I forgot to take my target off, and it filled my target at 2 points. So I got +2 out of that. That one went for +4. The next one was over here. I shorted this pullback right here. That one gave 1.5 points. I didn't move my stop to break even or anything like that. I just let it go. But typically I would have gotten a break even on that, or maybe +1 point. But I just let it go, and it came back up here and it hit my stop. Now, the last trade of the morning was right here. It pulled back down to the BBC. I didn't get long there. I got long over here. Okay, I got long right over here after we had a bar that pulled away. I got long in here, rounding everything up, and that one gave +2, and then I got out of the trade over here at break even. Okay, I got out of that trade right over here at break even. Since then, there was another short opportunity right in here. This would have been at 98 and a quarter roughly, and that one dropped 4 points. All right, so the maximum profit potential out of the trades that I actually did fill on: 1 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 11 and 3/4, 15 and 3/4, 16, 17 and a quarter, 18, 19 and a quarter. 19 and a quarter points out of the trades that I actually did fill on. There were 2 more trades in here that that went for 2 points, so that would be 23. Now, if you took just 2 points on every trade that went 2 points, and you left your stop alone on every one that didn't go 2 points, then you would have had -2 here, break even here, -2, back to you would have been back to break even here, +2, +4, +6, +4, +6. You would have been +6 on the morning if you had just put a 2-point bracket on and left it alone. Okay, that's what you would have been on the morning if you would have just done that. The maximum profit potential if you took every trade was over 20 points in the first 2 hours. And this one right here, actually, if you would have taken this, you would have been +8. And this last one right here, it did it again. Right here at let's say 96.75, you'd be +10 actually, because this one went 2 points from 96.75 down to 94.75. All right, there you have it. Does anybody have any questions about this? Because I was trading this morning exactly the way that all the videos that Dwayne is labored over and put on the blog for everyone to see would trade. All right, you see I took off every other indicator. I only have the MA1 and the BBC on here. I took every other indicator, even the weekly trading zones, off, because some of these trades in here, the weekly trading zone is 96.97, I believe, right here, and I wouldn't have been trading right into the zone on like this one right here. I wouldn't have been trading right into the zone on this one. But by the same token, I wouldn't have been trading right into the zone on this one. So the one that lost and the one that won over there, they sort of even out. All right. I just wanted to show that again. Now, just the regular trades though that we always do. Over here on the NQ that I took, I got 60 ticks on that this morning. Okay, on the NQ. So overall, it was. Is the stop number the net on the whole trade? Jack, the stop, I used a 2-point bracket on every trade I put on. Okay, it wasn't a 2-point bracket. I used a 2-point stop on every trade I put on. Actually, I did use a 2-point bracket, but I had to take the target part off. That's why on that one right here, this one right here that I got 2 points on, I would have let the target go, and I probably would have stopped out right here at 2.5 points maybe, trailing my stop down. But there's a 2-point stop on every single one of these. I had the same stop. It was 2 points. Okay. I was manually trailing the stop. Once it broke the prior swing pivot, that's what I was looking for on every trade. Once it broke that, then I was going to manually trail my stop down. Okay. I only had the opportunity to actually effectively do that once in here because I messed up a couple of them. But that's what I was trying to do. Okay, like this one right over here, for instance, we would have stopped out right down here because we would have been looking to get below this right here. Then I would have trailed my stop down behind the MA1. So right here, 1296, maybe 1296.25. So the entry would have been up here at 1298.25 probably, 1296.25. So I would have still just gotten 2 points out of it. It had 4 points potential in it, I think, just about. But I would have been short again in here, and right now you see it's just broken that prior swing pivot. So right now I would be trailing the stop right behind the MA1. Okay, manually trailing the stop behind the MA1. All right. So from the entry here, which would have been 96.75, the stop right now would be 95.25 probably right here. Okay. If I was just looking for a 2-point bracket on each one of these, then every one that's over 2 points, you can see I would have gotten 2 points on, and every one that's under 2 points, we would have stopped out on. that's how it would have worked. Okay? So 2, 4, 6, and there were 2 in here that got 2 points. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 now. But if you take these 2 out, you're looking at 12. Okay? That is that. I'm going to wrap it up because I know Dwayne has somebody else on here this morning. A special guest, extra special guest, who I actually had to mute a few minutes ago because she didn't know she was live. All right. That's it, guys. I'm going to wrap up the recording right here. If you have any other questions, type them in. If you don't want to type them in, you can email them to me. You can email them to support@cfrn.net. All right, support@cfrn.net. One last thing. If you have not taken the free trial, go to www.cfrn.net/apply to take the free trial. If you're on the free trial and your trial's about to terminate, or if you're on the free trial and you want to become a partner to get into tomorrow night's partners meeting, you should have an email from me in your inbox. Okay, if you do not have an email from me in your inbox with the current offer, then send me an email at support@cfrn.net. Okay. If you want to become a partner, now's a great time because we have the partners meeting tomorrow night at 9 p.m. every week, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right.